Man, I've been in the content space for around 5 years now, and I just get so depressed seeing the type of content being pushed out on YouTube nowadays. Like, you have this AI slop competing with this top of funnel garbage that always leads you to someone's crappy course that's $100 a month. Like, I really don't understand. Like, you could scroll for just hours and you see 100 of these videos, and I've grown like a sixth sense to be able to tell when one of these videos is a funnel video. And if you're not sure what I mean by like a funnel video, it's basically a video that breadcrumbs you enough information to make you think you're learning or you're getting some good info, and has a really clickbait title, and then the beginning of the video has all these crazy after effects and it's like very hyper edited, but there's always a piece of information that's missing from these videos that actually makes the whole engine of whatever they're promoting work. And oh, lo and behold, you can only ever find it in their course. And you know what, I can't even blame them, because a lot of people fall for this stuff, including myself. Listen, like, I spent an uncomfortable amount on courses thinking that they were going to be my solution. I was vulnerable and stupid, I will admit it, because 99% of these courses is a waste of time. Even when you do receive some value, and I can't lie, there have been some courses where I've received some aspects of value, it is never actually worth what you're paying for these courses. Like, a lot of this info, if I did enough research, I would have found it out on my own anyway. But these guys do it because it's honestly one of the most profitable businesses in the entire world. And they do a really good job of selling people a dream and preying on their vulnerabilities and convincing people that I am the only one that can actually solve your problems. And this is just sales 101 when it comes to this. Like, it literally says in some books that I've glanced over, I'm not going to say read because I barely even read. I can't remember which book it was in, but I remember reading this line where it says, you need to convince the consumer that you are the only one that will solve their problem and you are their hope. Like, that is like a sales 101 line. And if people continue to fall for it, why not? Of course, people are still going to promote it, and they're going to take advantage of it because everyone wants money, especially if they're making thousands of dollars doing so. That's also one thing that I've noticed. Like, every few months, there's like a new shortcut or a new secret, like something that nobody has ever known about, and it puts millions of people in this state of like hope, like, oh my god, this is gonna be the thing that makes me a millionaire. And then it always just takes those people and just spits them right out. Like, I fell victim to this too, bro, with crypto. Yeesh, you just had to be there, bro. And look, I'm speaking from someone who fell into this stuff. It's very enticing to find this quick fix, but it really all comes down to convincing people that they don't have to earn the life they actually want, that there's like some kind of shortcut or missing piece to the puzzle that if they just input it, it would solve all their problems. Like, I know this guy, right? He's my friend, so I'm not gonna bash him completely, right? But I know this guy where he literally is involved in like 8 different businesses, right? And he does like 9 different things at once. Like, he'll do marketing, he'll do fucking drop shipping, he'll do YouTube, he'll do content creation. And then I actually talked to him, like, bro, like, are any of these things actually profitable? He's like, nah, but like, this is probably the new thing, this is the new thing. And he wastes so much time being stretched so thin in like 10 different avenues, and then 3 years have passed and none of them have really shown anything. And of course, I care about him, so I've told him this, but he didn't like that advice that I gave him. I told him just focus on one thing, and it's going to be boring and unsexy, but that's what gets you to where you want to be. Like, I understand why it's enticing to go for these quick fixes, but it really just works in the way of you just have to do the boring thing for a long time. There's always going to be this new thing that catches everyone's eye, that everyone falls for, and I think it's really important that you should look out for these things as opportunities, as tools, but you don't have to actually exercise every single opportunity. I think if you're in a place where you don't know what you want to do with your life, especially, you're very vulnerable, and I think you need to understand you're very vulnerable because you're malleable. You can go into different avenues, and there's like a low risk or perceived low risk, but there's this thing called opportunity cost. I don't want to bore you to death with all this verbiage, but opportunity cost is basically just like the time you wasted trying new things or doing different things, but had you done something else that maybe you're already good at, or you were trying to stick through something, you would have been a month ahead in that thing. So the opportunity cost was like a month of your time there. And away from like even just opportunity cost, I think a lot of these course gurus will sell you hope that, again, they are the only one that can solve your problems, and if you do buy their course, you will somehow magically become talented enough to move to fucking Bali or something. Like, none of this stuff is real. I tell you guys from experience, everything that I built in my content creation agency, I built from the ground up. Sure, I've probably learned from people certain things, but for the most part, this is something that I bootstrapped myself without anyone advising me. I mean, for God's sake, I still edit on Sony Vegas. I edit videos very much like an amateur, but I just have a very good understanding from years of experience in content creation. And that will always beat some jackass who's trying to just get into it for the money. Like when someone looks at me and says, yeah, man, I'm going to go into AI video editing and use like stuff like Higgsfield or whatever garbage that everyone's using now. And this all just comes down to people having very surface level knowledge, just seeing what they put on YouTube and missing those pieces that I keep talking about that are being bottlenecked by these bullshit ass courses. At the end of the day, they're all selling you relief from the idea that success might actually take years and it's going to be repetitive and boring, like I said earlier. And coming from someone who's built something that I deem a little meaningful, or at least it has some tangible intrinsic value to it, I can tell you that the truth is that money is never going to come to you through a shortcut. If you actually want to make some type of wealth, guys, like you just need to stick to the boring thing that you're good at and do that for 5 years and don't let anyone sway you. Like this gets you down into such a rabbit hole where I just think focus is actually the main lever of what makes someone successful, like how well you can focus. Because for me, from my personal experience in the last 3 years, I think the one thing that has set me back the most is distractions, and not the traditional ones, more so like opportunity distractions where people tell me, yo, hop on this wave or do this thing or change paths here, crypto or AI or whatever is the next thing that's going to be amazing or that is going to make you a millionaire. And it's actually really fun to just get good at something. Like the most fulfilled times of my life is when I didn't know something and I learned it, bro. It's so fulfilling when you finally figure something out that actually works, that is something that you can call your own and that you understand. Like, do you guys know what it feels like to like look at something and then feel like you can actually grasp at the idea of what you're looking at, but maybe a month ago you had no idea what you were looking at? I think that's like a foreign concept now. Like traditional learning is just something that no one really does. All success really just comes from getting really good at something and keep showing up every single day. And this is all corny advice, but it's true. And I think because it's like so corny and so surface level to a lot of people, they think it's not going to work, but it's the fundamentals that always get you from point A to point B, and point B is where you want to be. No pun intended. See what I did there, guys? Because I don't believe in quick fixes. There's a lot of fundamental things to learning that is missed from these courses, because I don't believe in quick fixes and shortcuts. Even think about that one professor in college or teacher you had in high school that you really like the one you would chill with after class and talk to about your like bullshit 15-year-old problems, or maybe 21-year-old if you're in college. Like that professor or that teacher that was such a G. You think they got paid more for you to sit and yap to them all day? No, because they did it because they were passionate about it. There's a certain longevity aspect to learning and teaching that these courses miss. Like I shouldn't have to pay $500 just to get more insight from someone online with zero qualifications other than a social media page and being able to speak well on the internet. They're not breadcrumbing you any information. You're not actually learning. You're just getting shortcuts and you're becoming like an overqualified transcriber. You might as well have just asked ChatGPT for the same info. You probably would have gotten something twice as good too, and quickly and for free. Anyways, before I get too deep into this rant, that's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. I know for me, I'm never going to buy another damn course again because I've gotten scammed one too many times. I bought this $70 course the other day and man, it was terrible and I'm not getting a refund. So I'm tight. That's what made me make this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.